Hi everyone, Alex Tardy here, National Weather Service office in San Diego. Wanted to give you an update with this extended heat wave. Hey, this is what we're looking at for this winter. I figured we'd talk about cold weather and maybe that would make people who are suffering from the heat feel better. Okay, in all seriousness, we have changes coming up this winter at the National Weather Service. So the hard freeze will no longer be used. We'll just have a freeze watch and warning. So that's one of the main changes in consolidation. Now the other one, and you may not be familiar with it in California, is the wind chill. So the wind chill is going away. So no longer is there a requirement to have windy conditions along with cold conditions. So we will have an extreme cold watch and warning and then a cold weather advisory. So the bottom line is wind chill is no longer a factor. Most of the time when we have very cold temperatures in most parts of the country, it's at night and when the winds are lighter, and so wind chill typically isn't a factor. But cold weather can be nearly as serious as warm weather depending on which part of the country you're in. Okay, speaking of warm weather, now back to reality here. The past week, take a look at this. The ranking for September 27th through October 3rd. Number one, all these locations you see here: Phoenix, Las Vegas, Southern California, Palm Springs, high deserts, all are coming in as the hottest period for late September to early October. How did we do that? Well, at Palm Springs, we are at a record early start in October. At this pace, we're shattering the previous record, and this includes high temperatures and low temperatures for the first week of October. How did we get there? 117 helped a lot. So on October 1st, that was the hottest temperature recorded at Palm Springs in the month of October. Pretty impressive. Okay, we still have heat alerts in effect. Advisories are in the yellow. That's the lower end, less impact. Still, vulnerable communities are at risk. Now, the purple shaded, that's all of us, including myself. Those areas, heat exhaustion can come upon you quickly, especially if you're working or doing outdoor activities. So the warnings in purple and the advisories for the mountains, and both of these continue through the weekend. Here's a look at Southern California in particular. You can see it's the Inland Empire and the Inland San Diego valleys. Away from the coast, marine layer dominating the immediate coast, and then the warnings go and spill right into the deserts with advisories over the mountains. So if you are out hiking this weekend, don't expect any relief in the upper elevations. In fact, if you hike and leave the marine layer, you're going to be exposed to much hotter temperatures. These are the temperatures I'm talking about for Saturday. Take a look at your area. Still talking over 110 in the deserts, well over 100 Inland Empire, near 100 San Diego inland valleys and foothills. Now for Sunday, not much change, pretty much a carbon copy, a little warmer in some spots. Now Monday we do see a change. It's subtle along the coast and valleys, just shave off a couple degrees. So we see the end of the heat wave starting on Monday, still downright hot in the deserts. And this is what's going to likely give Palm Springs its hottest start to October ever. What's causing the heat? Upper level ridge of high pressure or lack of a jet stream. Okay, so there is a powerful jet stream occurring and it's way up in Canada, as shown here by those tight lines. This upper level ridge is in response and it's right over Southern California. It finally starts to weaken by Monday. On Tuesday, a weak weather system, not really a storm, but a weak weather disturbance will deepen the marine layer because the warm air will erode. It won't be such a warm air mass over us. So the difference between that warm air and the cooler ocean will be less. So we're going to weaken that marine layer and it's going to lift and spread more cooler air over inland areas. And this L will also cool off our mountains and deserts a little bit, at least closer to normal values instead of 10 to 18 degrees above normal. Unfortunately, next weekend, if we take a glimpse out there, the upper ridge builds back. Okay, here's the heat risk. So red means dangerous heat, and those are the warning areas. Orange means, yes, it's very hot, it's much above normal. You still need to take breaks, still need to have precautions, just not as severe. The outlook. I said the ridge, upper level ridge, the dome of hot air will build back, and it looks like the forecast is reflecting that clearly. Not just California, but the entire Rockies, Great Basin, and West for mid-October. So heat builds back. Let's take a look at sea surface temperatures. We've seen some recent cooling along the coast, even though there's large areas of warmer than normal water in the Atlantic and the Pacific. And we see La Nina, the cold phase along the equator at the bottom of the screen, trying to form. But you can see two areas of really warm and really cold along the eastern Pacific Ocean. So at Scripps Pier, we saw a big drop in temperatures last week. And we're starting to recover now into the lower 60s. But after water temperatures were in the mid to upper 70s for an extended period of time, from late August all the way through September, you see this big dip here. And some of that colder water that I showed you on the map before has made it into the California Bight and made it to our beaches. Here are some resources for heat and weather alerts and other hazards in our area. You can also find some information posted on X and Facebook. Stay cool, everyone, or if you're fortunate enough to be near the marine layer.